Welcome to another episode of Community Association Car Chat, the podcast in your car where we discuss with Steve and myself and our guest community association related matter. We are inviting property managers, experts in the multifamily field, business partners to discuss their experience in this industry, their takeaways, and also their little nuggets of advice.
Thank you for the introduction, Dave. My name is Steve Roderick, and we work for JGS Insurance. Me and Dave spend most of our time working with boards and management to help navigate the sometimes confusing world of insurance. So we try to figure out what the problems and the issues might be for HOAs, condo associations, high-rises. Today we have a very special guest. Today we have Chris Nicosia, the Vice President and Chief Operating Officer of Prime Management out of Manahawkin, New Jersey, and he's going to share with us some of the world of management. So Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and what you do?
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, David. I really appreciate you having me on today. Prime Management is a management company. As you said, we're located in Manahawkin, and we focus on condominiums, HOAs, active adult communities, and waterfront properties, as well as commercial condominiums. And our approach is pretty simple. We really want to take that world-class customer service and innovative solutions for our clients and put it together with a real dedicated sort of extra care approach with our clients so that they feel very much like they're our only client. And that's the approach that we take. Barbara, my partner, we stay invested with all of our clients. So it's not just the once a year contract review. We tend to be very involved with our clients, and I've got a great team that helps me make sure the day-to-days get done and all of our clients are serviced to the utmost and best of our ability.
Now, quick question, because you use that term, you got involved with your customers, but how did you get involved in the industry in the first place?
It's a great question, and it's one that I think there's sort of a running joke in the community association industry, which is nobody actually intended to be a community manager. They sort of fell into it. And that, to some extent, is true for me, too. While I was in college, I got my undergrad at Rutgers, I took a summer job working for a property management company in Central Jersey. It helped me learn about governing documents and sort of the whole process of governance within a community association. So after I graduated, the end of that year, he ended up bringing me on full time, and he started me as a portfolio manager. It really kind of built the whole platform for me to then move on in the industry and gave me a great base set of knowledge.
It is kind of a running joke about falling into it, myself included. So, but what about somebody who's actually wants to get involved with community associations? What kind of advice do you have for them?
You know, there's a lot of companies out there that are looking for entry-level people to help out with that admin, and I would advise do that. Also, we're seeing that some of the community colleges and certainly CAI offers a lot of good courses to help get your feet wet and teach you sort of the basics, you know, the M100 course to get your CMCA certification. So I would say if anybody is truly committed into getting into this, and you don't necessarily have to have a degree in anything specific, but just be more of, think on your feet and be proactive. There's a lot of opportunity for growth.
What keeps you going every day to keep at it?
I love the ability to solve problems for my clients, to be able to work with them, brainstorm with them, bring our experience and knowledge, leverage our professionals, you know, like you guys, like the attorneys, like some of the other companies that we work with, to be able to bring solutions to our clients so that they can in turn go to their communities and say, look, we got this done. We got this fixed, whether it was, you know, big construction project, a loan, or maybe there's an insurance loss that needed to be addressed. Being able to bring solutions to our clients and them to be able to rely on us. And I think that every day helps me get up and say, how can I help my clients today? I love it.
What's a really good community look like for you guys?
Our territory tends to be from southern Monmouth all the way down to Cape May, and we go all the way out to the Delaware. So for us, that's our key territory. And size of community is part of the equation. I'm not going to lie. We have to obviously make money. And I like to think that we pay our employees well to make sure that we're giving our clients the best possible service. So there is the cost of doing business, but I look at more, it has to be a good fit for what the goals of the community are. I have clients that are 8 units. I have clients that are almost 2,000 units. So for us, you know, we have the capability and knowledge to go the full scale and gamut.
What would you say is the one thing that set you apart, Prime Management, from the rest of the company?
You're going to get our entire company's resources all the time. If you need me, you pick up the phone, I'm going to answer. You need Barbara, my partner, you pick up the phone, you're going to get an answer. Because we don't outsource things. Everything is done in-house, and we have very knowledgeable and educated professionals that we have as part of our team to ensure that we can accomplish that.
COVID is on everybody's minds right now. Is there any way that you could put into a nutshell some advice for community associations, for the boards, for their managers, as to how you guys are dealing with COVID?
In all honesty, is that I recommend that our boards rely on your professionals. Speak to your manager, speak to your attorney, and speak to your insurance professional, because there are so many risks and pitfalls out there, and as an industry, it's our job to protect you. Listen to us, because that's what we're trying to do, even if it's inconvenient.
If you had a question for a business partner or somebody involved in community association that is not a lawyer and not an insurance broker, what would be your question that you would like to get an answer?
I have a community out on the island, Long Beach Island, that it was a conversion from an old hotel, and it goes back to the 40s. And they have like lead pipes and deteriorating plumbing, and we're trying to figure out if there's a way that we can sleeve those pipes, or whatever. And we've just not had a ton of success. And so, if I had a question, it would be, from a provider's perspective, what's the best approach? Should we just rip it all out and replumb it? Or is there, products out there to maybe line the pipes that would apply to a small association? It's only 8 units. It's not a big place.
Hi, Chris. This is Carol Schenk from Sage Water. Getting a brand new warranted plumbing system by doing a full pipe replacement is the way to go. Continuing to repair or inject something into your pipes is not a long-term fix, especially on a property as old as yours. Hope that helps.
Hey, thanks, Carol, for the answer. We appreciate that. Moving on to our next question. Chris, can you tell us something about yourself that people may not know about Chris Nicosia?
So I actually sing professionally. So I went to school for classical music, and that was before I switched majors and ended up going into business. But I actually sing professionally in New York, Philadelphia, throughout New Jersey. I've sung with Renee Fleming at Carnegie Hall. I've performed all over the world. I've done solo work at Notre Dame in France. So I've sang it, all over. So I've done opera. I do a lot of Renaissance music. I tend to specialize in that era. I've recorded for Sony, and I actually was on a Grammy award winning CD. That's another part that people don't necessarily know, but it's a pretty important part of my life. It keeps me balanced.
Something else that I do know about Chris Nicosia, though, is that you're heavily involved in CAI, Community Association Institute. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your role over there and how that might help people getting into the industry?
It's our professional organization, and I'm actually serving this year as CAI New Jersey's treasurer. CAI is the organization that supports our members and especially new managers trying to get into the field.
Chris, you did mention a hidden talent that most of us do not know about. Is there any ways you can hit some notes for us?
I'll give you one bar.
Go ahead.
Here we go. Nessun dorma, nessun dorma. That's all I'm giving you.
That's Italian.
Yes, it is. Yes, and it was a favorite amongst Luciano Pavarotti.
Okay.
Excellent.
Do you ever post pictures of your food on Instagram or Facebook?
Once in a while.
What was the last podcast you listened to?
I'll be honest, it was yours.
What is your favorite city in the continental U.S.?
Probably New York.
Now is the time on the show. We give you 20 seconds to plug, Chris. So, go.
Well, thanks again for having me, guys, and it's been a pleasure. Prime Management's here if you need us. We would love to service your community. And CAI, I encourage everybody, if you haven't already joined, please become a member. We can be your best advocate and your greatest source for education.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you, Steve, for joining me one more week and putting up with me. In the meantime, we hope that you enjoyed this episode. We hope that you have a great week. And we'll see you next time on Community Association Car Chat.